Yeah, I don't ever remember feeling like this. But I'm out here in these YouTube streets. So I want you to get your fingers.
I don't know what you're doing.
I want you to
right
get
now,
your
but
mouse.
I want you to check me out.
And I want you to check me out.
Get ready to do this. It's the relationship rehab. Like, share, and subscribe. We coming at you live. So come on, let's take a ride. Then subscribe to United Guns of America. Just click that link and listen up to what I'm telling you. It's the relationship rehab.
Click that link right now. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy Brian Redmond, and I just want y'all to subscribe to my channel. You know what I'm saying? I want you to let me know what you think. I'm gonna talk about some things, you can talk about some things, and we can do our thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's all about having a conversation, right? I mean, if we can't talk to each other, then, I mean, what are we really here for? I want y'all to be able to just come over to my channel, talk to me about what's going on with you, and I can tell you what's going on with me, and we can build some things, you know what I'm saying? That's all about growth, baby. So click that link, go ahead and swipe on your phone, whatever you gotta do. Share my content. It's just get me out here, baby. Cause we just talking, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I like doing what I'm doing because it's about the people. It's about us having a conversation with each other. It's about us discussing whatever needs to be discussed. And on these YouTube streets, this is the best place to do it, baby. Like, share, subscribe. That's right. Click the link. Click the link. Yeah. I just want to say thank you to everybody that's out here that's already subscribed. You know what I'm saying? Cause y'all ain't the first one, and y'all ain't the last one. So I just want to give a shout out to everybody that click the link, that click the share, and then subscribe to your boy. Cause we gon' blow this thing together, baby. Relationship rehabbing, United Guns of America. To the world, blow up, baby. Yeah. Click the link, baby. Click the link, baby. Yeah. Hey, I just want to send a shout out to all y'all. I love y'all. That's why I do this. It's for the love of us, baby. I appreciate all of y'all. Ooh, we gon' do this thing. We gon' do this thing right here, baby. Hey, look, if you at a computer right now, just go ahead and click your link. What else you got to lose, baby? Tell me what you think. Hit the comment section. You can jump on the live panel. We do it all here. That's what it's all about. So come holler at your boy. I've been doing this for years, but I just got onto this YouTube thing. So hey, let's see what it do and where it can go.
To United Guns of America. Just click the link and listen up to what I'm telling you, telling you. Anything you want from me, yeah. Ooh, I've got it. Click that like. My heart belongs to you, yeah. You can have my love. You're the girl of my life. Am I all you're dreaming of? Yes, you're my desire. I want to give you so much for the things that you give to me. Just take my love, baby. Because you are so dear to me. Whatever you need. Ooh, yeah, my heart belongs to you. Whatever you want, baby. Ooh. Yeah, buddy, that's that Jodeci, baby. All right, let's go ahead and let's get into this. I am ready to have a show on tonight. That was My Heart Belongs to You by Jodeci. Let me make sure I got this right. Oh, no, I don't. I'll get the chat up in 2 seconds. Once in a lifetime, you would find someone like you. And now that I have you, here's what I'm gonna do. Is that it? I would give you my all in all. over and over again. Lady, 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 loving you too much, baby. It's not a thing, baby, baby. All right, y'all. Why can't I get the chat up? What is going on? That is not. Oh, I think I know what I did. All right, give me 2 seconds. But I want to welcome everybody to the show. Shout out to my wife. What's happening, baby? Yeah, baby. I was singing next to you there, girl. Yeah. I just want to give everybody a shout out. I know that y'all are shocked that I am live at 7 o'clock in the evening on a Saturday. Hey, I don't know how it happened my damn self. I just know that I'm here. I don't know. Y'all know I usually don't be going live till 10, 11, 12 o'clock sometimes. But the cards have just been in my favor today. And here we are at 7 o'clock. I know Mr. Maxwell says I'm totally shocked. I'm just as shocked as you are, sir. I am. I don't know how I was able to accomplish this day. I just don't know. So will it happen again? Probably not, but let's enjoy the time that we have to do what it is that we're going to do today. Yes. So, I'm trying to really figure out what's going on with this chat and why it is not showing up. This is not making any kind of sense. Oh, wait, there we go. All right, so that is not turned on. That's why. Yeah, I did an update on, my software, and it is like been just doing different. It ain't been like bad, but it's just been doing different stuff that it normally would not do. So now that that's there and that's on, now let me try to put the chat in again. Now it should hopefully work this time, because see, it's saying that it's connected and it's saying that that's there, and now I should be able to disconnect that. Yup, that's why. That's it. There we go. And then connect. Nope. And then connect. Nope. And then connect. Yes. No. Maybe so. It's still not doing it. That's weird. I do not know what is going on. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know why it's not showing up, guys, because it normally just shows up right there, and that's it. Okay, but with that being said, I want to, while I'm trying to figure that out, let me ask the question first before I get into the show. So I'm gonna do a little different tonight. I want to know what you guys think about the U.S. Supreme Court overturning Roe versus Wade. So if you guys can just put into the chat if you are for it, put a 1, or put, I'm for it being overturned, or if you are against it, put a 2, I guess. Yeah, let's just do that. If you're happy that they overturned Roe versus Wade, put a 1. If you think that they should not have overturned it and you're pro-choice, then put a 2 into the chat. I just want to check the temperature of the chat real quick. And while you putting in them 1s and them 2s, please, please, please click that thumbs up button. Okay, all right, yeah, we need the thumbs up. But one of the most shocking things about this and this discussion that's been going on, it's like when things get changed, I guess, and change is inevitable, and I get all that, but when things get changed and we don't really know like how it's going to affect us, I think that that's the thing we need to really start trying to figure out. Because just because something changes doesn't mean necessarily that it's going to be the end or whatever, or the worst thing that has ever happened. Okay, I got you. I see what y'all saying. Okay. It's just one of those things to where it's kind of like a now what kind of thing in this instance that I see. And I think that that's the question that we should really be trying to ask is now what? Because I don't believe that Roe versus Wade, when it was first instituted back in 1973, that it was intended for what is going on today. I do not believe that. I do not believe that it was intended for what is happening today as far as abortion is concerned. But be that as it may, it was still done back then, and things have changed for the better. Things have changed for the worse. However you want to look at it, it's one of those things to where I say, well, how did we get to that point, and what is it that we're doing to, I guess, make things better? Because I mean, if we can say that we have that we have the power of life and death, and it is solely up to the woman who is pregnant because it's her body, right? Then what are we saying as far as, if we're challenging that, are we challenging just the life? Are we contesting that there's a life that is defenseless and is not having the rights to live, or are we challenging the authority of women? Are we really, is that the bigger thing in this? Because it's like, I think that most women that have had an abortion, or that, you know, feel that pro-choice is a thing and they should be able to do it, I believe that most women have a huge part in being or becoming pregnant in the first place. And with that being said, if you don't have the means to care for a child, if you don't have the means to provide for a child, if your life ain't set up for that right now, then why would you put yourself in a position to where you would become pregnant? That's one of the questions that I would ask. It's like, when the rubber meets the road, when we're talking about saying, okay, well, you know, when this does happen, what we gonna do? Well, let's try to ask the question before that and say, well, how are we getting there? Because the biggest thing that I've heard about this argument, oddly enough, is that the majority of people that argue this point to say that it should be a woman's right to choose and it should be pro-choice, the main arguments that I hear are, it's a medical issue and the mother gonna die if they had a baby, if they take the baby to term. That's one. The next one is, what if it's a minor and she gets raped and she becomes pregnant? That's two. What if as an adult I get raped? That's three. And number four, which is, it's five. What if there's something medically wrong with the baby and I don't want to have to deal with whatever those medical issues could potentially be? Is the thing. That's four. And then number five is the good old incest. What if there's incest? If somebody does this to this person and they get pregnant. And it's ironic to me because I can tell you this, and this is just my experience. The majority of the people that I know that have had abortions, the majority of the people that I know who know somebody that has had an abortion or abortions, I have yet, out of all of the people that I know, I'm 48, I've been around this motherfucker 48 years, I don't know of a single person who has had an abortion because they have one of those five things I just stated. I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody that has had an abortion because of one of those five things. I just don't. And I don't know if it's just that maybe the way my life set up, growing up in Chicago, growing up wherever all the places I done lived in Michigan, maybe I just didn't know enough people, I guess. Or maybe it's just that small of a percentage. Because my thing is this, when it comes to women being in a situation where it's a medical issue, where it's an issue of rape, when you get, and to my thing is, I believe, I ain't had to go through this process, but if somebody can please correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't mind being corrected. But I thought that if you get raped and you go and you file a police report and they do a rape kit, I believe that it's standard procedure for them to give you the morning after pill. Just saying. I'm just saying. If I'm just Throwing that out there. Yeah, the good old plan B. You know, if you can have, if most women can sing the song, bitch, I need some Henny and a plan B, that's how they summon up their weekend. I'm just saying, I thought, you know, because I don't know everything, but I know a little bit about a little bit. I thought that if you get raped, you know, guy pulls up in a white van and puts the chloroform over your mouth, drags you into the van, drives around the block a few times, drives down the hill or wherever you gonna go, has his way with you, and lets you go, or you fight your way free, that if you go and file a police report, they're going to take you to the hospital. If you go to the hospital and say, I've been raped, they're going to do a rape kit, call the police, and then they're going to give you a plan B. Now, I've seen quite a few, yes it is, even a yes it us. But I'm saying if that's the truth, that would eliminate the rape issue with abortion. Puts it out, it's good. Long as you, hey. And my thing would be, because I know somebody right now is thinking, well, what about if I can't come forward and it's just too traumatic for me and I can't deal with the world right now? Now wait. Totally understand. You file a police report, there you go. You do a rape kit, file a police report, here you go. Go ahead, have your abortion. There you go. That's the, what, 1%? Now, people that have, you know, hey, the baby is on the wrong side of my body. It's being born on my liver, and I got to get it. If I have it on my liver, I'm going to die. Okay, let's let you have yours. That's fine. You get yours out the way. That's what? Maybe 5%, 6% of medical issues where you would literally die if that happened. If you were to go to term with the baby. Okay, fine. So you get yours too. We sign your sheet, stamp of approval, go ahead. So we knocked that one out the box, right? Okay. How about the other 95%? I'm sorry, what was that? What did I say? 1%, then 7 or 8 or 8%, so that's 9%. How about the other 91% of abortions that are strictly had because most men and women, well, damn that, most women are sexually irresponsible when it comes to having babies and getting pregnant. If I'm going to have sex, I'm doing so knowing that there's a potential that I could get pregnant and I don't want to have a baby. Why would I do that without having some type of contraceptive? I'm just saying. There is, I don't know how many forms of birth control that are available to the U.S. public today. How many? I can't count them. I cannot count them, but I can tell you this, they're free. They're free. So if I have free birth control and I still get pregnant, even if it was on accident, the rubber broke, it was a late night, I was drunk, I was high, I was overcome with emotion, I was horny. I was a slut. I'm a whore. I just like fucking. Whatever the case may be, would that not equal sexual irresponsibility? And I believe that the biggest part of this, it is the fact that in our society, we have allowed women to just be irresponsible for decades. Anything that they do, anything that they say, any type of behavior that they exhibit, they are just, hey, it's fine because you could have been going through something that day or in that moment. It's one of those things to where we understand you're a mother and you just had a bad day. If that's what it is, then what does that say about us as a society if we cannot hold an adult responsible for their actions? Because I truly believe this, with all of the abortions that take place, have taken place, and will continue to probably take place, if there was no such thing as public assistance, if there was no such thing as child support, and if there was no such thing as you get taken care of and provided with Section 8 or whatever the case may be, if you had a baby, we would not have not even a third of the abortions that we have today. If women got stuck with their babies that they had, if they chose to have them, and there was no child support court, there was no, oh, we gonna take them to court and get that check, girl. If there was none of that, if there was no public assistance where they give you food stamps, give you shelter, give you clothes, and all of that, if there was none of that, they wouldn't have them. You know why? Because it would be too much of an inconvenience on their life to where they have no benefit from it. With there being no, I can't get no financial benefit. I can't make nobody do nothing. I don't get power over the daddy. I don't get nothing. They wouldn't do it. They would be prolific at taking birth control. They would be religious when it comes to taking contraceptives. They would be more selective as to who they have sex with, because there's no main benefit in it. Without them being married, without them having that security of saying, I have a man and a husband who will take care of me and my child if I do get pregnant, if they didn't have that, they would not do it. They'd be like, hell no, no, I never know, ain't no nigga gonna shoot up this club. You ain't skiing all up in here. You ain't gonna get to paint these walls. They would be adamant about it. You wouldn't be able to raw dog a woman no matter what. If they knew if they got pregnant, they couldn't have an abortion and they would be stuck with the kid. And there was no way for them to make you assume any responsibility for it. The fact that we have gotten to the point to where it's second nature, to the point to where they don't even consider a baby being a baby until the baby is born, it lets you know how asinine we've gotten, because we've gotten so what do you call it? Oh crap, what is the word? Where you desensitize to the idea of an abortion. Just saying. The fact that a woman is willing to go multiple times to a clinic to lay up on a gurney thing with her legs cocked open and listen to the destruction of a fetus, listen to that fetus being vacuumed out of her womb, and will do it multiple times. We're not talking about a one and done. We're talking about, this my third one, girl. The fact that a woman does that and will go through that, pop a pill, take some Henny or whatever the case may be, and be good in a week or so, it lets you know the psychology and the mentality of that woman. And it lets you know that she literally just has no sexual responsibility whatsoever. So I'm looking forward to the conversation about the majority of these abortions as opposed to the minority, the ones that are the outliers, those if it was only abortions, if the majority of abortions that were happening were coming from rape victims and were coming because of life or death medical issues, I don't think we would even be here. But that's not it. That's not it. It's not happening because of that. It's happening because we have women who are sexually irresponsible. Plain and simple. No matter how you want to paint it, no matter how you want to describe, it is what it is. Don't try to make it into something that is not. Well, what about the 1% of the women who are? That's not the majority. And it's like when you have a conversation about this and you have people that only want to focus on the smallest percentage of that thing, that lets you know that you really don't have an argument. It lets you know that your argument really ain't too tough because you're only talking about the very smallest percentage of which this thing would occur. The smallest percentage is what you're focusing on, and you're trying to say that you have a valid argument. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't see it. I don't see how someone can say the reason why we should never have overturned Roe versus Wade is because of the women that get raped and have to now carry their babies to term. Because like I said, I don't know. I don't know them. I don't know of them. I have not heard of them. They are literally the smallest of the percentage. Those women that say, well, women gonna be dying if they do. Well, hey, how about this? If a woman doesn't want to be in that situation to where she has to risk her life, she has to put her life on the line because of health reasons, she's not going to get proper health care. How about you just take birth control? Well, I'm allergic to out of the 100 different versions of birth control, I'm quite sure that your doctor can find one for you to keep you out of being in that situation. For those that these women are going to be getting pregnant and they're going to go back to having back alley abortions. Back in the 70s, I actually could understand the reason to make abortions legal because you did not have as many options that you have today. Science hadn't evolved, medicine hadn't evolved to the point that it did today. So going into some back alley, some hack of a doctor who got a rustic coat hanger and a bucket and could just put your life in jeopardy or damage your insides to where you could never have a child again, then you got to go to the real hospital to get a hysterectomy at the ripe age of 19 because of one simple mistake. We're not at that point anymore. Right. Sandy Miller says 32 forms of birth control. 32. 32. I mean, come on. 32 and you can't pick one? You can't find one. Come on, man. All I'm saying is this. And as far as am I pro-choice or am I pro-life, here's my thing. I'm kind of in the middle. If the baby got a heartbeat, it's a baby. That's just me. Now, there are some people that believe at conception, it's a life. And to a degree, they have a point. They actually do have a point. But I would say if there's a heartbeat, that's a person. That's a person. That's all I'm saying. Because people try to say this, and I had some people mention this and say, it's just a clump of cells. And my response to that is, aren't we all? Aren't we all a clump of cells, a bunch of cells bound together by energy? That's, I guess, I mean, how could you not? I mean, in my opinion, if you're making it that, then that would mean that at the point of conception, it's just a bunch of cells. Just like I am right now. Just like you are that are watching or listening to me now. You are literally just that. A bunch of cells, a clump of cells being held together by energy. Stop me when I'm lying. That's all I'm asking you to do. Stop me when I'm lying. That's it. That's it. So it's like you have this thing to where, do I think, and just in all fairness, is there middle ground to be had with this? Yes. But the biggest thing about this entire issue being overturned and all that stuff, and then why we got to do all this and why has it got to be like that, all of this comes down to is to say, hey, why don't we come up with some rules and let the states decide? That's the biggest thing about this that people have just decided to overlook. It's like nobody really wants to look at what the Supreme Court actually did. And I wish the Supreme Court would do this with a lot more things. Leave it up to the states. Because, and the reason why I say that is because it puts me, it bolsters my point of saying, I wish we could go back to two sides, the Union and the Confederacy. I am a huge proponent of cutting this whole country across the middle and saying, all y'all Northerners, go up there. All the Southerners, come down here. Yep, I consider myself a Southerner. I do. I consider myself a Southerner. I consider myself to be one of those to say, hey, I'm going to get rid of this whole thing because I don't know what the hell it's doing and why it's doing that. But it's something wrong. So I'm going to delete it. But I'm going to just say what it is. It's like, hey, at what point, because we obviously will never be at the point to where we all are on the same page 100%. But I truly believe that if we were to just cut this motherfucker in half, let y'all do what y'all do up there, let us do what we do down here, then it is what it is. Because there are people and just like how I said I would never move back to Chicago, one of the biggest reasons why I would never move back to Chicago is because of the politics. I don't like the politics in Chicago, Illinois, New York. You ain't never got to worry about me moving there. California. You ain't never got to worry about me moving there. Because I don't want, the way that they do politics, their idea of how they, literally distribute power, I don't like it. I just don't like it. And I believe that if we were to say, hey, all that shit y'all want to do up there, up north, carry on up there and do it. We don't do that shit down here. You don't like it? Move. And people say, that's ridiculous. I shouldn't have to move from my state. You do it if the economy's fucked up. Look at all the people that left California and New York in the past 2 years. It's literally been a mass exodus to Texas, Tennessee, Arizona, Florida. Mass exodus from all those cities, Illinois, Detroit. Do y'all realize? I think it was actually shout out to Tommy Sotomayor. Tommy was the one that pointed it out that Chicago's population has not changed in 10 years. That's a lack of growth. That means we ain't on shit in Chi-Town. So all of the people that just moved to from California, they moved from Las Vegas, they moved from New York, they moved from New Jersey, they moved from all of those states up north, from Detroit. They moved where? Down here. How many people from Texas then moved to Chicago? Tell me, man, I got that to get up out of Texas. How many people done moved from Florida up to New Jersey? Man, it's crazy down there in Florida. Nope. So why not let those people that want to live down there, let them live? I mean, they want to live the way they want to live in those areas that are like them. That's it. Right, don't California my Texas. But I'm just telling you, it makes perfect sense. I know it sounds primitive and it's taking us back if we were to have a union and a confederacy like they did back in the day. But what would be wrong with it? What would be the bad thing about it? What would be the bad thing about it? It would literally balance out the politics. Hey, look, this is what y'all do up here. You go down here, you can't do that shit. Just like we go up there. You tell me I go up here and I can't have an abortion in Chicago. Okay, well, I won't have my abortion in Chicago. I'll go on down to Mississippi, have my abortion. Same thing. But I tell you, hey, you know what, TW 1984, you are right. The liberals would still find a way to complain. You know why? Because they want you to think the way they think. And they want to be able to say, you got to do what I do, and the way I feel is how it should be for everybody, no matter how crazy it sounds. No matter how crazy it sounds, it should just be that's just what it should be. We should all be able to just call ourselves whatever we want to call ourselves, and you should have to do it and acknowledge me as such. And if you don't, you should be canceled. Just think about it. When you're talking about just the things that we do as a country, the biggest issues that we have, if just try my philosophy of leave me the fuck alone politics. If you leave me alone and let me do my thing, I would tell you more than half of the issues and discrepancies that we have will be resolved just like that, instantly. It would be resolved instantly. And the responsibility of what it is that people do and how Americans take care of themselves and each other and all that stuff, it would begin to work itself out because it would make the people be more responsible. It just would. Just think about what's one of the things that that Tommy has always said. He says, if we could have financial abortions, how come we don't have the right to choose? See? Now there's a real one right there. So if you want women to have the right to choose, how come men can't have the right to choose? Well, it's my body. No, you're right. It is your body. I don't disagree with you. It is your body. You standing right there, and that's your body. How come me, as a man, if I do not want to have a child with you, how is it that I don't have the right to choose to not support it financially? How come I don't have the right to choose where my finances go? Now, that's a conversation that nobody will ever answer that. They'll find a bunch of reasons to, oh, that's just idiotic. That just doesn't, that's stupid. Why don't I have a choice as to how my money gets spent? Why don't I? Well, you shouldn't have got her pregnant. Well, wouldn't that work the same way with abortion? You should not have gotten pregnant. See how that works? See how that works? So when it comes to me having control and choice or the right to choose over what happens with my money, over how I spend my money, over how much of my money gets allocated for a child that I do not want because she gets to choose, then how come I don't? These are the questions that you will not get answers from to pro-lifers. To pro-choicers. You won't get those answers. Because if it's about saying, well, it's about me having my right, how come I don't get that as a man? Isn't it convenient as to how we can take rights away from men and it's just nothing? But when we encroach on the rights of women, it is the worst thing in the world, the saddest day in America. We've set ourselves back 150 years. This is the worst ruling or overturning in American history. How come how come we don't get for the people who are so pro-equality, the people who want to be treated fairly, the people who want, the group of people that want, I can do whatever a man can do and I should have equal pay and all of that, the so-called, well, you would expect to be the champions of equality. How come they don't champion that? It's your body and it's my wallet. Why can't I choose? Why can't I choose? Because it's not about that. It's literally about power. God complex. Because I feel it should be. Because that's what I think it should be. Well, do you have any facts to support that or any facts to dispute? No, I don't, but that's just how it is. Oh, okay, so I should just shut up and just do what you're telling me to do. Gotcha. The other thing about this is I'm glad that they overturned it because I hope that it begins to set a precedent for states' rights to come back to the forefront. I am not a proponent of the federal government ruling on every single thing and being the ones that decide every single thing that goes on in my life. Because the way that I live my life in Texas is different than somebody who's living their life in North Dakota. The way that someone lives their life down in Tupelo, Mississippi is totally different than someone who lives their life in Portland, Oregon. And this whole thing about how the government does that and the federal government making this blanket shit or whatever the case may be, that's now deciding upon a lot of different things. Who's in office, who's in Congress, who's in the Senate. And depending on whatever that majority sweep is, one way or the other, then they're the ones that get to write policy for 4 to 8 years and either fuck it up or make it great, whatever the case may be. But if you had more states' rights at the forefront, and if more states were in power at the forefront of this, you wouldn't have as much, it wouldn't be as much of an emphasis on what the federal government is doing, because the federal government, their shadow would be casted, it would be a lot smaller, as opposed to it being as overarching as it is. Had it just, could you imagine, had it not been for the Constitution, what gun rights would be like now? Because you got an old man who is literally not in control of his faculties, and whoever is pulling his strings has the bright idea to do whatever, he's gonna do it no matter what they tell him to do. Everyone wears pink from now on. He would be like, we gotta do this. We all gotta wear pink. Well, why? Because, come on, man. That's how it would be. If we didn't have a Supreme Court to say, hey, hold on. That goes against the Constitution. Y'all can't do that. So it's like, I think that we should just have it to be where, hey, for it to be something that becomes a federal law or federal legislation, it has to really be like uber major. Like something that affects everybody on every level, no matter what particular group you are. It should be like voting. That's everybody. That's everybody. I get that. But when it comes to those other things, as far as because we spend too much time and too much energy and too much money trying to legislate stuff that's not overarching across the entire country. It's a certain group or a certain state or a certain cluster of states that feel a particular way, and they just think that, yeah, the whole country got to go along with this. And that's not what it was meant to be. That's not how it should be. That's just not how it should be. So it should be one of those things where we say, okay, well, if we're going to do this, we should do it, but it should be because of that. Or it should be because we've had this. That's why this had to change. Other than that, you're pretty much going to have to just abide by what it is we're saying and do what your state is telling you. And if you don't like it, because everybody won't like everything that their state is asking them to do, you change it, you do it, you change it one of two ways. You either vote or you move. Period. Just that simple. You either vote or you move. If it's enough of y'all there to vote the shit down or to vote their asses out, do that. And if it's not, obviously, the majority rules, move. Just leave. Why not let that be an option? Why can't you just say, you know what, this ain't my thing. I think I need to go live somewhere where people are more like me. I just need to do that. Like if don't nobody like to play spades in Texas, and spades is my thing. That's what I do. I don't want to do nothing but play spades. Then maybe I should go move to Baltimore. Maybe I should go move to Detroit. Maybe I should go move to Chicago, whatever the case may be. Because that's where they play cards. They don't play cards down here, and I'm tired of them discriminating against me because I want to play cards. That's what I would say. Because that is what would say, hey, well, if you're going to do that, then, hey, jump on board with it or get the hell up out of here with it. Move your ass on. Load up your truck and move to Beverly Hills, that is. That's it. So, I'm going to go ahead and play a couple of videos, and I've given pretty much my synopsis on what it is, and I'm trying to get this damn chat thing to work. I don't know why it's broken, but without further ado, this is so weird, man. I just don't know why this is crashing like that. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play this because this was like one of those things to where I think people need to really just hear what's going on, what's changing, and why it's changing. And I think and I hope that this will make a little bit of it would ease some people's minds as opposed to thinking what the media is just trying to make it out to be, because it's not that. And to say, well, you know what, maybe it's not going to be as bad as I think it is. So let's go ahead and let's do that. And I will try to get this damn chat thing working because I don't know why it ain't. Yeah, I'm confused. But
the U.S. Supreme Court, in a 6-3 decision, voted with a super conservative majority, voted to overturn Roe versus Wade. So the Dobbs decision, this case that was based in Mississippi, is the new precedent, this new landmark decision, a historic day for this country and for abortion rights and for women's rights.
I'm taken back to being at the Supreme Court in November when our Texas case, SB 8, was being argued in front of the Supreme Court, and standing in front of the court steps that morning, and just the emotion, the deep emotion that is always on display for this issue. But that morning in particular, you just saw how This is an issue that affects every person in the United States because everybody has an opinion about how they feel. And so this morning, we are seeing on the steps of the Supreme Court that emotion spill out. We're seeing rallies already. We're seeing protests already. And it is a landmark day in the history of the United States. And again, particularly here in Texas, because of that trigger law, it does mean that 30 days from today, barring any sort of legal wrangling that might be able to happen between now and 30 days, that complete ban, total ban on abortions would go into effect here in the state of Texas.
In this state too, just for clarity, the Supreme Court is allowing states to decide this. So in Texas and southern states, you will likely see the conservative-led states, you will likely see abortion outlawed. In many other states across the country, California has already said it is going to make abortion legal there. So instead of this being a constitutional right enshrined by the U.S. Constitution in the 1973 decision, the justices today said it's up to the states to decide this.
That's it. And I don't see what's wrong with that. Because like they just said, California already like, y'all ain't got to worry about shit. We going to keep it going. We keeping the party going. So if that's the case, why would you be worried about it if you live in California? This is not right. This is an outrage. It's fine. It's fine. It should be all good. It should be all good. You should not have to be concerned. You shouldn't be losing sleep. You shouldn't have to take to the streets and burn your bras and protest and all. You shouldn't have to do any of that. It should just be a thing where you say, okay, it's good for me. It ain't going to bother me. In my area, my Earl.
Almost every single American will be affected in some way by today's Supreme Court decision overturning Roe v. Wade. Beyond abortion, Justice Clarence Thomas, writing in his concurrence, he expects other major decisions to be revisited, including the right to same-sex marriage and the protection of birth control. Joining us now to talk about what this decision means and what we might expect going forward is Penn State Professor of Law, Dara Purvis. And thank you so much for joining us, taking the time to talk with us on this busy day. First off, what does this ruling mean right now for Pennsylvanians?
So the first thing I want Pennsylvanians to know is abortion is still legal in Pennsylvania. There are over a dozen states that almost immediately snap into prohibiting abortion, but Pennsylvania is not one of them. The legislature has been attempting to prohibit abortion in Pennsylvania, likely will in the future. Governor Tom Wolf has vetoed those bills in the past. So it means our governor's election this fall is really going to be a referendum on abortion in Pennsylvania.
Will we see a disproportionate effect on women of color and women who are lower income?
No question. Women who have the resources to travel to a state where abortion is legal.
Now, I ask this. Why would they say women who have low income, women that are of low income, basically black folks, women of color, basically black folks, why would they be more affected by it? Could it be that they're the ones that's getting the majority of them done? Could it be? Could it be, Piglet, that they're the ones who are more likely to get it done? Could that be? Now, how many of these black women that you know of are having abortions because they were raped, because they have a pregnancy that's going to kill them? How many women do you know that are having abortions because of that? I'm just saying in my Winnie the Pooh voice, if you could just ponder on that for a moment, Piglet. And let me know if it's really that many pregnant black women that have been raped that are actually going to these abortion clinics. Could that be the case, Piglet? Could it be that the majority of these women that are going to these abortion clinics are the ones that are having these pregnancies because they are getting because of incest? Their uncles and their fathers and their grandfathers and their brothers are impregnating them? Could that be it, Piglet? Right, Hero. Oh, bother. Could that be? Or could it just be that these motherfuckers are the most sexually irresponsible motherfuckers on the planet? Because they the main ones that's always shoving their titties up in Facebook, making kissing faces, making sure they stick their tongue out on every goddamn fucking post that they make. They gotta show ass, titties, and mouth on every fucking picture that they post. Could that be the reason why they're the ones getting the most abortions? Because they're oversexed? Because all they want to do is promote and lead with their sexuality? Could that be it? Could it be that they're the ones who's gonna suffer from this the most because these bitches don't have cars but they got babies? They ain't got cars but they want to have abortions? Could that be it? And they can't drive to the abortion clinic over in the next state? I would think to believe that that's because this particular group of people are just fucking irresponsible, sexually and otherwise. Bitch call herself a boss bitch and everything she got come from the state or the federal government. You a boss bitch, but everything you got comes from section this, wick that. Shout out to Chris, hit your boy up with a couple bucks. Thank you, man. How about that? Could that be the reason why? Could that be the problem? Just look at our women on social media. And I know motherfuckers will be like, yeah, but it ain't all of them. It's too many of them. How about that? Go on Instagram. Us. Ass, titties, mouth. That's it. That's it. That's all they do. These women will make money to go and get bigger ass, bigger titties. I ain't seen too many mouth jobs from black women, but ass and titties, they all over it. Brokest motherfuckers on the fucking face of the earth, but they the main ones trying to hustle up on fake ass and fake titties. But they need free abortions. They need the state to pay for their abortions. They need the federal government to do all of the fuck shit that they want to do. The repercussions of it. Oh, I need somebody else to pay for that. Well, if they don't know any better, they don't know any better. How is that my responsibility? Just saying. How is that my responsibility? But what about her? Do you realize that people are more upset about having the right to have an abortion being left up to the state? They're more upset about that than they are about saying, you got somebody like Joe Biden saying that the Second Amendment don't matter. It's not absolute. But this shit is. This shit just came around in 1973. The goddamn Second Amendment, that shit was back in 1791. Which one do you think is more important? It's like when you look at what's going on in other countries, and you look at the state of just welfare. Welfare should be for people who literally have nothing, and those people are in that position and they need help to get out of that position. Not for a motherfucking welfare queen to just live off of taxpayer dollars for their entire life. Generation after generation after generation. When you think about when Title IV started, when you think about when all of this free shit started happening back in when? The late 70s, late 60s, early 70s? How many generations? That's 60-something years of free shit, and look at where it's gotten us. And since I'm driving down this street, I might as well stop at this. My whole idea of public aid, public assistance, and all that shit, am I for just leaving people flatted on their ass? Nope. But your ass shouldn't be able to have no more than one kid that gets provided for. You have 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 12. That's on you. You won't stop fucking without contraceptives. If you choose to do that, fine. I give you one. I give you one. I would work this shit just like this. If I was the king of the US of A, I would do it just like this. I would count 18 months from today. So this is June. So from July 1st, I would go 18 months. Because how long does it take for a baby? 10 months. I'm going to give your ass 8 on top of that just for the niggas who going to say they didn't know. 18 months from now, from July. So that means July of 2023, go all the way back around to to June of 2024, and starting July 1st of 2024, any baby had July 1st and after that, you cannot get public assistance. No Section 8, no welfare, no WIC program, no nothing. The only thing that you can get is a care package of food every month. You get a big box or a tote of food that got the government cheese, powdered milk, that shit in it. The government butter, the government peanut butter. You know that peanut butter that tear up your bread? You gotta damn near cook the shit to make it soft. That's what I would do. Hey, you know what, James? You right. I'm going to take it a step further. You get that government shit from right there, and then your ass will get 30 MREs. If our soldiers can eat this shit, so can you. That's it. You get them MREs, and you get, hey, some powdered milk, some cheese, some peanut butter, and you go figure life out. Kids still gonna eat in school. You got your churches that'll still have their soup kitchens and they food pantries. Still have that stuff. I'm fine with that. But your ass sitting back getting motherfucking Section 8 housing and all that shit, where we gonna go? You better stop. You better stop. You better stop. That's my only advice for you. But I didn't know. I made a mistake. Well, there are penalties and there are prices to be paid for the mistakes that you make. That's just what it is. You should have to say, hey, look, I had this one baby, but I ain't gonna do this shit no more. Go get me a job, whatever the case may be. I'm gonna go get that shit together. And then I would shorten the time frame. That whole thing of you being on Section 8 and all that shit till your kid is 18. Nope. 16. That's it, partner. You get 16 years old, that's it. Somebody else can use them resources. It's a 6-year-old that need it. And so that would mean in 18 years, there would be no more not no more, but public assistance would probably be cut by 80%. Yep, it is fucked up for the kid. Stop bringing them in it. because it's a kid somewhere right now. You No Freedom said, okay, that is fucked up for the child. It is. I'm gonna call it what it is. I ain't gonna try to make it seem like it's something that it ain't. It is fucked up. But like, there's a kid right now living in the Congo that ain't got shit compared to what I just mentioned. They would take what I just said and they would treat that shit like it was fucking gold. You go look at these kids in these third world countries and go see what they have. If it wasn't for missions and all that shit going over there to do that shit, nope, they wouldn't even have that. The poor will always be amongst you. I totally get that. But just because you poor doesn't mean that you also have the right to be irresponsible. Y'all seen the videos of these welfare queens feeding their dogs and cats fucking shrimp and lobster? Y'all seen these welfare queens that sit back, ain't doing shit, and having mukbangs where they just eating all kind of expensive ass food on our dime? We've seen it. We've seen it time and time again. So if that's what it's come to, and I'm not saying they all are doing that, because I believe that there is a percentage of those mothers, of those families that are learning and finding their way. But you still have to have some type of responsibility to say, hey, you can get this much help, and that's it. The rest of it, you got to figure it out on your own. Why would I keep incentivizing bad behavior and irresponsibility? Why would I keep doing it? At the expense of my constituents, because we're the ones that's paying for it. And the same motherfuckers that are growing up poor, the same motherfuckers that are growing up on this federal government assistance, whatever you want to call it, the same motherfuckers that are growing up on that are going to be the same motherfuckers that's going to be robbing your ass and carjacking your ass 15, 16 years from now. How does that shit work? That same little motherfucker that you see out on the streets at 3 in the morning, that little 6-year-old, because they mama on that shit, that same motherfucker is going to be the same motherfucker that's going to be selling that dope on the block behind you at the trap house across the street from you. And when he see your ass getting off work one day because he ain't got no car, he going to come put a pistol in your face to take yours. And now they've even gotten so bold to the point to where they going out to the suburbs to get their car. They ain't going to wait to catch your ass slipping coming out of a Harold's. No, we know where your ass be at. We know where the nice neighborhoods is at. I'ma get in my boy's stolen car and he gonna drive me out there and then I'ma get me a stolen car. This shit is not working. It's just not. It's not working. Our children are in the worst situations that they've ever been in. The black community is in the worst situation that it's ever been in. There was a time that the hood was, for the most part, safe enough for at least those that weren't about that life. That ain't even the case no more. They've now become prisoners of their own neighborhoods. Grandmama can't go outside. Kids can't go play no motherfucking well. But let me get back to this.
Will still be able to access abortion in a safe and legal manner. Women who don't have those resources and aren't able to secure them through contributions to things like abortion funds will likely take dangerous steps into their own hands.
For those of you who don't know, abortion funds is basically taxpayer dollars that are allocated for these abortions to take place, to pay the doctors that's making all the goddamn money and the nurses that's making all the goddamn money running these clinics and the people who own the clinics making all this goddamn money. That's what she means when she says that.
To desperately try to end their pregnancies. That's what happened before Roe v. Wade, and we're going to see it happen again. And even for women who are forced to continue their pregnancies, women who are lower income and women who are not white face worse health outcomes. The maternal mortality rate for Black women is 3 times what it is for white women.
And you know why that is? And I'm so tired of people saying this shit and not really acknowledging what the fuck the reality is. The reason why that number's the way that it is because we have the worst health on the planet. Well, not on the planet, but in our country. We the last ones to go get checkups, if ever. The only time we go to the hospital is when we pass the fuck out from whatever the fuck has been ailing us for the past 2 years. We don't go to the doctor. We don't go to the dentist. We don't go to the gynecologist. We don't go get 6-month checkups. We don't go. Only time we go get a physical is when we about to play a sport or we getting a job that dictates that you have to get one. Other than that, we do not go. On the other side of that, we have the worst diets in the fucking country. Everything with our diet is based on high fructose corn syrup, sugar, fucking alcohol, liquor, all that fucking everything that we eat is processed or it's just fucking terrible for us. And we feeding our kids this shit when they are fucking knee high. Tell me, and I'm telling you right now, I coached Little League Baseball for over 20 years. And we literally had to make our parents, we had to make a rule for our parents. Ma'am, we can't control what the fuck you feed your kid. But I tell you what, we ain't say it like that. But I tell you what, you can't be bringing your kid no soda and no fucking Flaming Hots before the game. Buy them water. We got water. Well, we got water. Buy them Gatorades and buy them fruit. I can't tell you how many kids, and I'm talking with in our Little League, we had kids all the way from Pee-wee on up. And to see them kids coming to the games on a Saturday morning at 9 o'clock. So that means they've been up since 7, 8. And they showing up eating fucking Flaming Hots. Eating hot Doritos. Motherfucker, you 7. Fuck you eating that shit for? Quarter juices. All that little ghetto food shit that we eat, that shit fucks up our system. Them little quarter juices or them little juices that's like a fucking baby bottle ain't nothing but high fructose corn syrup and a bunch of fucking coloring. At least back in our day, we made Kool-Aid. We poured the fucking sugar cane into our shit. These motherfuckers is getting some shit that's made out of a fucking test tube. Y'all know I'm not lying. Eating fucking ring pops and shit. We would tell kids, look, in our dugout, you coming to play, your ass can have some sunflower seeds. Your ass can have some sunflower seeds and some Gatorade or some water. Before the game start, eat you a fucking sandwich. Peanut butter and jelly or some shit like that. Shout out to my brother Eric. He the king of peanut butter and jelly. That nigga Eric eat peanut butter and jelly sandwich no matter what. Y'all know Eric Easy E. Easy to be in the chat. That nigga is the king and he in charge of all the peanut butter in my house and in his house. He gets to determine who get peanut butter, how much peanut butter you get. If you get 1 knifeful or 2 knifeluls. That's hood living. I'm just saying, when you talking about what we eat and how we care for ourselves, we don't realize that we've had too much sugar over the years until we 35 and then slipped into a diabetic coma. That's funny, but it's fucked up. Niggas don't find out they got diabetes until they've gone into diabetic shock. And y'all know I'm not fucking lying, man. Y'all know it. One of my homies, there, rest in peace, my nigga Sankey. That nigga found out he had diabetes because for like 3 days he couldn't stop pissing and sweating to the point of where he said something wrong with me. This nigga wasn't getting any sleep because he kept waking up having to piss. That nigga said I ain't slept in 3 days. I said, why, man? He said, I keep having to get up and piss all the time. And I'm always sweating. Man, there's something wrong with me. I said, nigga, you need to go to the fucking doctor. I know, but I'm scared. This a grown-ass nigga. I am not lying to y'all. Nigga grown than a motherfucker. Scout thought this nigga was, at that time, that nigga Psyche had to be at least 45. Easy. Talking about he's scared. I said, I ain't never heard no shit like that. I said, nigga, you like, he's like, man, I'm pissing. I piss at least twice, nigga, like every 30 to 45 minutes. I said, nigga, there's something wrong with you, man. I said, you got to go to the doctor. Nigga finally went to the doctor. Hey, man, nigga, sugar was motherfucker whatever 100. It was 750, some shit. Yo, sugar 900, nigga. Like, what the fuck? Nigga had diabetes. And he was like, man, so what would have happened if I'd have just kept going like this? He said, well, you probably would have eventually passed out and went into a diabetic coma, and then you'd have found out or you'd have died if wasn't nobody would have been there to help you. That's what we do. We leading in high blood pressure. We the most stressed motherfuckers, got the highest blood pressure. We the motherfuckers that got the highest heart disease. And it's because of the shit that we eat and the lack of fucking medical care that we deny ourselves every fucking day. The only time a motherfucker, a bitch will go to the hospital or go to the doctor is when she done missed her period for 2 months. Not 1, 2. Or fuck around and be Brenda had a baby and don't go at all. I just guess my period just done took a break. It's on hiatus, so I'm just gonna not do nothing. Less pads I got to buy. It's like, come on. And here's the other thing that people try to say. People, and I'm just saying this because of I just saw the comfort food comment. People say, well, our mamas and our grandfathers and all that shit, they ate the same shit. So when it came to soul food, yes, but you have to realize that them motherfuckers worked from sun up to sundown doing physical labor. So that mattered. They was working them fucking calories off. They were literally healthier then because of the physical labor that they did. Now a motherfucker would die at 40. But it was the physical labor that actually worked off those calories that they were consuming when they ate everything on the pig from the rooter to the tutor. But today we have better options. I love me some greens. I will make a pot of greens that will make you slap your mama. However, I don't use fatback. I don't use ham hock. I don't use that no more because there's a better option. I use turkey tails. Now, I probably got some vegan motherfucker that was going to tell me there's even a better substitute that would taste just like it and will put it in them greens. However, I'm not that far advanced. I'm going to do what the best I can with where I'm at right now. So don't tell me about that shit. You could use turkey bacon. That would work. Nope. Wrong. My uncle made some my uncle and my auntie 2 Thanksgivings ago decided they was gonna make some meatless greens. And you know what? They were the worst greens I ever had. My father and my grandmother and my uncle were turning over in their graves because of it. To the point to where I said, next year, I'm going to make the greens. I'm coming down there. I'm going to make them. Just make everything else, but don't touch nan motherfucking green in that house. That's why we're in this category when they say how many black women are going to be in jeopardy because of our health. It's because of how we eat and the lack of medical care that we refuse to provide for ourselves. Motherfuckers got jobs with benefits and still won't go get braces. Still won't go to the dentist. Still won't go get a 6-month checkup. Still won't go get a mammogram. They just won't do it.
So we are going to see some very negative effects for poorer women, for women of color, and for people throughout the country.
And if you don't mind me asking, from a personal perspective, what do you think about this ruling?
Personally, I'm horrified by it. I'm a mother of 3, and before I had my children, I had an ectopic pregnancy. And ectopic pregnancies are a leading cause of death in the first trimester. If I hadn't been able to access comprehensive reproductive care, I could have died, and I wouldn't have the 3 children that I am very happy to have today. And
she didn't say abortion, did she?
And I hate the idea that other women are going to go through those kinds of medical crises without any rights, without help, and be forced to make some very, very difficult decisions.
And what are the implications for rulings like Justice Thomas wrote, so like same-sex marriage, birth control, and others?
The rule of law is really in question. Justice Thomas explicitly said we should overrule the cases that give us access to contraceptives. We should overrule Obergefell v. Hodges, which instituted marriage equality for same-sex couples. We should overrule this entire line of cases based in the privacy right.
There have been a lot of lies said around this dinner table here tonight, but that you can't believe.
That is not what he said. That is not what he said. He said that he would hope that they can start looking at basically a lot of the shit that he probably, in his opinion, think is overreach from the federal government. And it's not that they're talking about getting rid of it, taking a look. And here's the thing, and I know that some people are going to get offended by this if this is your first time watching me or whatever the case may be, so just hear me out. When they talk about things as far as gay marriage should not be a thing. And here's why. And just hear me out, and me being fair, this is why. Marriage is an institution ordained by God. It is a religious institution. It is something that people who believe in a certain faith, that is what they do when it comes to them pair bonding. That's what they do. That's what that is. Not saying, in my opinion, because this is America, Jack, that you should not have the same rights and privileges as a married couple have. If you and your significant other choose to live your lives together, you should be able to do that and have those benefits. Medical benefits, having estate benefits, all of that kind of stuff. Getting your husband's pension when he died. Paul left everything to Paul. All of that shit should go that way. And you would just call it a civil union. But as far as taking a religion like Christianity and saying that, no, the government say we can do this, I believe that that is something that they should not have control over. So it wouldn't be a thing of saying, well, we're going to take it away to where there's no more gay marriage. Nope, we're just changing it. If you got your own church that will do that, that's up to y'all. But as far as it being ordained and they have to do it, nope. 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 You can go to the courthouse, get your civil union, sign you a civil union certificate. A civil union certificate. Just like you would sign a marriage certificate, you apply for a civil union license, just like you would apply for a marriage license. Same exact thing. Same exact thing. You get to, if you want to wear a ring, then by golly, you wear a ring. Whatever you want to do. But as far as as far as the doctrine goes, that should not happen in Christianity. It just shouldn't. Because in the Bible, it says it's not that you shouldn't do it, it's forbidden. Like, if you believe in this, you can't do this. Just like how Muslims don't eat pork, they don't eat swine, not because they got a different idea of what a pig should be used for. Nope, it's forbidden. You don't eat swine, which is yet another reason, aside from them killing Malcolm X, that I ain't gonna be no Nation of Islam. Because they can't eat no hog, and I like my bacon. I ain't shit, I know. But I'm just saying, that's what it is. Because I do believe that, and I've heard of stories where, you know, a man, a gay couple, they live together, men and women alike, live together for 30 years. One of them die and pass on, go and get called on to glory. And then the other one loses everything, gets none of the benefits that the other one had, lived and took care of their man for 40 years or whatever, married for 30 or whatever, been together for 40 years, never got married, and then when that person dies, the kids come and take everything and leave this motherfucker who been taking care of their significant other for all them years. That's bullshit. I'd be ready to kill a motherfucker if I was a gay man living with me and my boo. Me and Robert living together for 40 years. I've been taking care of Robert, cooking and cleaning for Robert. Living in a nice gay upscale neighborhood. I'm living in Saugatuck, Michigan, living on the lake. $1.3 million home. Driving a fancy Volvo or something. Then my man died. And then his kids from his other life, or his brother and sister that he related to, they gonna come and put me out of our $1.3 million house? Put me out on the streets? Take my dog? Shit, I go Clay Davis. Shit, I ain't doing it. I can't. Fuck that. I'm not gonna let it happen. I'ma burn this bitch down. I'll burn it down, goddammit. But yes, that person shouldn't be left out with nothing. Shouldn't be, well, legally we can't do nothing. That's bullshit. Bullshit. I should be able to say, no, I still get my husband pension. He worked at Ford for 27 years. I still get that. I still get his medical. We ain't had no kids, but we got these 2 dogs. Shit, the fuck? The $1.3 million house paid off because I got insurance. He had a $500,000 policy. Robert took care of me. Why not? If that's how they choose to live their life, why can't they have those benefits? They just like anybody else. The only difference is what they do when the lights go off and they're in their bedroom. Or in the shower. Or in some gay club. I'm just saying. That's the only difference. So why wouldn't that person be able to have those rights and benefits that any other married couple would have? My only dispute is just the religious aspect of it because of the religion in which it was created. That's it.
That protects individual rights that I think people take for granted. Now, Justice Alito, writing for the majority, tries to cabin his opinion. He says the right to privacy doesn't make sense. It doesn't protect abortion. It's an illegitimate constitutional doctrine. But don't worry, abortion is different because it's about the potential unborn life. I don't find that limitation convincing. I don't think any lawyer finds that limitation convincing. I think there are plenty of states and activists ready to send cases up to the Supreme Court saying overturn these other cases too. And Justice Thomas is the one who's willing to say, yup, I would be very happy to do that for you.
Well, Dara, thank you.
That was just amazing how she just put all of these words and ideas into Clarence Thomas's mouth. It's just amazing. But the point that he was making in what he said is just what I said. We should look at those things that are saying, hey, man, this ain't no Supreme Court federal thing. This should be a states' right thing. And I'm all for that because, like I said, we will never, ever, as a country, all be on the same goddamn page. We won't. And the best way for us to have more harmony, you know how these motherfuckers always talking about bringing the country together, being bipartisan, getting this together, and we got to come together as one. We America. Have it to where the states are making their own rules, because that would put those people who are in those states to where they have a choice. Since we're so pro-choice, they would be able to say, I can either stay here and live, or I can go and move. Well, what about my job? What about where I work? The larger percentage of jobs is growing exponentially to being work from home. If you work from home, you can work anywhere where there's internets. Yes, I say internets. There are plenty of jobs if you need to change jobs, where if you can work on a computer and talk on a phone or just work on a computer, you can work just about anywhere. Anywhere. So it's like, why wouldn't I do that if that's going to be the thing that's going to let me say, hey, I can live my life the way that I want here. Let me go there. That's just what it is. I can't do this here, so let me go here because now I can. They allow you to do it in Chicago or Illinois. Illinois is a beautiful state, beautiful city. Why not go there and live the way you want to live, like those who are like-minded with you want to live, as opposed to staying somewhere where you're the minority and everybody's against you and you just there for the fight. You know why? Because there's a lot of motherfuckers that just like to go with the back and forth and the fuck shit. It's a lot of people that's like that. That's just what it is. And I'm telling you, we need to move past that shit to where people can say, hey, you know what, man? Yeah, you don't like it? That's fucked up. Okay, I get it. Move. Leave. Why not? Why wouldn't I? Now, this last video was something that I just really wanted to show because I want to give and just show the difference between how our president will talk about abortion and how this is such a tragedy and it's such a monstrosity that this happened, but how he feels about abortion, he feels the complete opposite about, yeah, we're going to get some Joe Biden in here. he feels the complete opposite about the Second Amendment. And it's just baffling to me. The Second Amendment, the number 2, the number 1, then you had number 2. The number 2 amendment that was written, that our forefathers wrote 7 years ago, however the fuck long that is. These motherfuckers wrote this shit back in 1791. Not 1973, 1791. And he's more opposed to what got overturned from 1973 as opposed to what he's trying to overturn that was written back in 1791. If somebody can make any kind of sense to me, I would love to hear the explanation. And I'm so proud of him for being able to walk out there on his own unassisted. Good job, Joe.
Today is it's not hyperbole to suggest a very solemn moment. Today, the Supreme Court of the United States expressly took away a constitutional right from the American people that it had already recognized. They didn't limit it, they simply took it away. That's never been done to a right so important to so many Americans. But they did it.
And here's my thing, and I don't understand why they're so hell-bent on this. They didn't take it away. They just gave it back to the states. This is not right. This is not a constitutional right, dude. Like, I don't understand why they're trying to make it like it was. It is not. It is not a constitutional right for you to be able to have an abortion. Thomas Jefferson, John Hancock, and all the rest of them motherfuckers, they was not thinking about abortions when they was writing the fucking Constitution. What the fuck? I don't understand this. And they're not taking it away. They're just saying, hey man, we're going to let the states handle this. Because here's the point to that is, the point I'm trying to make with that is, just as many people that want to have the right to choose and to have abortions is just as many that don't. That think that it's wrong to have any kind of abortion. And not to say that the Supreme Court should be the ones that decide that for us, but I believe that the states should. The people your ass elected to be in charge of the state that you're in, you should let them be the ones to decide this. And here's the thing. If your people that you elected or voted for ain't in power, you should go somewhere where somebody that agrees with you, where the politicians who agree with you are in power. Do you realize that if everybody who lived, who is pro-choice, if everybody who is pro-choice, if y'all lived in Illinois, New York, and California, y'all wouldn't even be thinking about this? There wouldn't be a problem. It wouldn't be a problem. And I'm telling you like this, because because of social media and because of the way that everybody in some degree, some shape, form, or fashion has a voice now, I think that people living in the state that best fits their lifestyle and supports their ideas and their morals and values, I think they should all move to those states that they are in, that do that. You believe you are pro-life, or you take your ass to a pro-life state. You pro-choice, take your ass to a pro-choice state. If it's that big of a concern for you, you should move. I would never move, and just hear me. When I moved to Texas, I never considered California. Never, not even a thought. I never considered New York. Not a thought. I never considered Jersey. I never considered Maine. I never considered any of those 13 colonies. I never considered nan one of them motherfuckers. I never considered any of the blue states. The only states I considered when me and my wife decided to move, I considered Arizona, and this was just initially. I considered Arizona, Nevada, Florida, Tennessee, and Texas. I considered those because of these reasons: job market, housing, schools. Back is itching. I considered it because of those reasons. They either had good schools, they either had great job opportunities, or they had wonderful houses. I like that for that reason. I wanted a big house. I wanted some big land. I like that. So that's why even when we first started searching, those were the ones I considered. I would have had Atlanta or Georgia on the list, but I knew too many niggas that moved from Chicago to Georgia, and I knew it was already too many niggas in Georgia, and I realized that I probably would have wound up killing a nigga in Georgia just because I know myself and I know niggas. It's bound to happen. Forces to collide. What is it? What is that saying? An unmovable, a moving object meeting an unmovable force or some shit like that. It was gonna happen. That's why. That's the only reason why I was like, nope, I can't do it, deal. I knew it was just too many people that I knew that moved down there. Too many niggas from Chicago go down there, be down there. It's like a mini Chicago. So I was like, nope, let me leave it alone. But I didn't consider those other places because of their political ideas. I didn't consider them because of their schools. I didn't consider them because of their housing is too fucking expensive. Cost of living is too fucking expensive. And I didn't consider them because of their gun rights, their gun laws. I didn't. And I think that everybody should do that. You moving somewhere, you trying to get you another job, whatever, better way of life, whatever. You need to consider those things. I'm good on the blue states. I ain't got nothing against them. Chicago got the best food in the fucking world, in my opinion. And I love to visit, but I would not live there. Look at Willie King said, I live in Georgia. You are a smart man not to move here. I just know what I knew. And I just knew what I know. That's what it is. It's just the nigga factor. It's like I'm not going to go and move to, I'm not going to have somebody or recommend for somebody to move to Chicago and move to Inglewood. Black, white, or whatever. Don't move to Inglewood, bro. Don't move to the Wild Hunters, bro. Don't move to the West Side, bro. Because it's going to get cracking and you going to either become a victim or you going to be a motherfucker that's going to have to kill a motherfucker. One of the two.
It's a sad day for the court and for the country. 50 years ago, Roe v. Wade was decided and has been the law of the land since then. This landmark case protected a woman's right to choose, her right to make intensely personal decisions with her doctor, free from the interference of politics.
And isn't that something? Just listen to what he said. It let a woman make a decision with her and her doctor. Fuck the husband. Fuck her man. Fuck the nigga that helped create the motherfucker. Fuck the motherfucker who actually did create the motherfucker. Fuck the motherfucker who she just fucked the night before or the one night stand. Fuck that dude. He don't have no rights. He's not even a part of the situation or the equation, even though he is the one who actually is the one who creates life. She is merely the vessel. But she has the choice as to if this child comes to term or not. Not even the doctor. How does that work? How is that equality? Is that the move for equality? Equality. Equality. There we go. How is that equality? Where are the father's rights? Why doesn't the father have a legal say-so? Well, because it's my body. Yup. And you gave me access to it. Do you realize a motherfucker can move into your house and be in your house less than 9 months. I think it's only like 7 days. And if they can prove that they've had at least a piece of mail sent to that house, they are considered a resident there. And you have to go through an eviction process to put them out. You can't even just have them leave and call it trespassing. 7 days. I got more rights as a person who is a squatter in a house that ain't mine than I do as a father who actually created the life that is in the woman's womb. That's literally my baby in her stomach. The baby I created in her stomach, in her uterus. Just think about that. You look at the scientific facts of what it is that I'm saying. That's just like if you gave me your dog to take care of. Dog is in my house. Can't I kill it? Could I do that? You take your dog to the kennel. Dog is in their house. Can they kill your dog if they get tired of taking care of it? She agreed to take care of the dog until she didn't no more. I agreed to let the dog stay in my house until I said, nah, I'm tired of this shit. Dog dead. On account of dog had worms. On account of the frost. Just saying, I can't do that. But you, having the child that I created in your uterus, you can decide if it lives or dies. And I ain't got a goddamn right to it. And I ain't got a thing I can even say about it. I can say whatever I want to say, but I don't have any rights at all. And now that your rights have not even been taken away, but has been turned over to the state, this is an uproar. Worst day in U.S. history. One of the worst moments ever in court. The courts have failed the country. All of this shit comes from just saying, we ain't taking it away. We just giving it back to the 52 motherfuckers that actually go make decisions that impact your day-to-day life.
It reaffirmed basic principles of equality, that women have the power to control their own destiny. And it reinforced
So they get to control their own destiny. Then they get to control the destiny of my finances. Then they get to control the destiny of my child's life. Isn't that something? And they get to control as to when they want to change any one of those.
fundamental right of privacy, a right of each of us to choose how to live our lives. Now, with Roe gone, let's be very clear. The health and life of women in this nation are now at risk. As chairman and ranking member of the Senate Judiciary Committee.
And it's at risk how? How is it at risk? Because any woman who is pregnant right now can still have an abortion today. Except for the handful of states that had like an instant thing. But today, right now, in probably more than 95% of the country, you can still have an abortion today. But for those that aren't pregnant yet, how about this? You put yourself in a situation to where you won't get pregnant, to where you won't make this mistake because of contraceptives. You won't have to worry about this. So if you want to live in Florida or live in Alabama where they banned abortion, just don't get pregnant by somebody you don't want to have a baby with.
As Vice President and now as President of the United States, I've studied this case carefully. I've overseen more Supreme Court confirmations than anyone today, where this case was always discussed. I believe Roe v. Wade was the correct decision as a matter of constitutional law and application.
And I'm going to say this, for the record, in my opinion, back in 1973, I think it was too back then. Because of where medicine was back then And because of those situations to where there were women who did not want to have babies. I do think that that worked back then. Today, now, it can be completely avoided. Furthermore, nothing's absolute. But 95, or what did I say earlier? Was it 91%? 91% of those abortions could be avoided. And the percentage is probably more than that. Could be avoided. It might be closer to 98%. Could be avoided if this particular group, women, would just be a little bit more sexually responsible.
Of the fundamental right to privacy and liberty in matters of family and personal autonomy. It was a decision on a complex matter that drew a careful balance between a woman's right to choose earlier in her pregnancy and the state's ability to regulate later in her pregnancy. A decision with broad national consensus that most Americans of faith and backgrounds found acceptable, that have been the law of the land for most of the lifetime of Americans today. And it was a constitutional principle upheld by justices appointed by Democrat and Republican presidents alike.
I am so amazed at how he's able to read this. I'm sorry. I am really proud of him as how he's able to read this, man. Do y'all see this? Like, he's actually reading this. I'm just saying. He's actually able to, he's read this, like, he rehearsed it or whatever he's done. He's done a great job. Let's give it up. I'm just saying. Give it up, man. He's doing good.
Roe v. Wade was a 7-2 decision, written by a justice appointed by a Republican president, Richard Nixon. In the 5 decades that followed Roe v. Wade, justices appointed by Republican presidents from Eisenhower, Nixon, and Reagan, George W. Bush, were among the justices who voted to uphold the principles set forth in Roe v. Wade. It was 3 justices named by one president, Donald Trump, who were the core of today's decision.
Here we go. Man, look, they find a way. Like Jeff Goldblum said in Jurassic Park, nature finds a way. Y'all can't tell me that y'all ain't tired of this shit. They just find a way to weave Trump into everything. And I mean everything that people may disagree with. It's always some kind of way, some shape, form, or fashion, Trump's fault. How? I know Donald Trump is probably sitting on his jet somewhere or sitting in one of his hotels and saying, what the fuck I got to do with any of this, man? This is ridiculous. How did he find a way to weave in Trump into this? So this is all a part. Now, wasn't Trump supposed to be the clown and wasn't just a dumbass president, but he masterminded Roe v. Wade being turned over in 2022? Really? Y'all kidding me, man? Come on, man. Y'all just gotta find a way to make this dude anything that's wrong, anything that's bad, this motherfucker is gotta be his fault some kind of way. I'm telling you like this. If I did not like Donald Trump, me being a man, I would not allow my administration, and I'm being the president, I would not allow them to keep having me mention another man and what the fuck he did before. And I'll even say this. That was one of the things I would at least give Barack Obama credit for. Everything that was fucked up when Barack Obama took the helm, that motherfucker wasn't blaming George W. at every turn. Yeah, you know it's bad like this because of Bush. GWB, man, he fucked us all up, bro. I'm just trying to make it a little better. He wasn't ever saying that shit. And not to say that he never said it, but it was not a part of his normal talking points. This motherfucker's talking points are always around Donald Trump. It's like, to me, it makes him seem weak, and it makes him seem like he's jealous of this man. He keep Donald Trump name in his mouth. Like, at least Lori Lightfoot said, Donald Trump, keep Chicago name out your mouth. It's like she need to tell this nigga that. Biden, keep Trump name out your mouth, man. It make you sound like a bitch. It's all because of Trump. If Trump hadn't have did this, if Trump hadn't have said that, it was the Trump that voted this way. It's, boy, you ain't had no problem undoing all the shit that Trump did in the first 3 months of your presidency. You wrote so many goddamn executive orders. Why are you still talking about this man? You've literally went back and undone everything that he did with the stroke of a pen. Shut the fuck up and stop talking about this man. You right, Juan. Trump is living in all these motherfuckers' head rent-free. It's like, Jesus Christ.
To upend the scales of justice and eliminate a fundamental right for women in this country. Make no mistake, this decision is a culmination of a deliberate effort over decades to upset balance of our law. It's a realization of an extreme ideology and a tragic error by the Supreme Court, in my view. The court has done what it has never done before, expressly take away a constitutional right that is so fundamental to so many Americans.
I'm sorry, I'm not a constitutional lawyer, but this ain't no constitutional right. Am I right? I'm just saying, is this something I'm missing? Maybe I am mistaken. Maybe it is something I'm missing. Let me ask Google to see if that's something that I may be missing. Is Roe v. Wade a constitutional right? Look at that. Came right up in the... Let me see if that is it. Is Roe v. Wade a constitutional right? Because these motherfuckers just keep saying it. On January 12, 22nd, 1973, Supreme Court issued a decision holding that due process clause of the 14th Amendment to the United States Constitution provides a fundamental right to privacy, which protects a pregnant woman's right to an abortion. So then it is not a constitutional right. It's not. There it is right there. Black and white. I'm just saying. It is not a constitutional right. Why are they saying that? It is not in the Constitution. Right to bear arms and the right to kill babies. It's like, what the fuck? But he's saying it. He's the president. He's the president and he's saying it. And it's incorrect.
That had already been recognized. The court's decision to do so will have real and immediate consequences. State laws banning abortion are automatically taking effect today, jeopardizing the health of millions of women, some without exceptions. So extreme that women could be punished for protecting their health. So extreme that women and girls who are forced to bear their rapist's child.
There it is. Their rapist's child. How about this? Isn't it funny? And I'm going to drop this before I get on up out of here. I only got a couple minutes left. Isn't it funny how our president is more upset about the right to murder the unborn, but turns right back around and says that the right to bear arms, which is in the Constitution, is not absolute? I wish I had a mic drop. I think I got to get me a clues bomb or something like that to put on here. But isn't that something? He's more pro the right to murder an unborn child than he is for the right to bear arms. One that is a constitutional right and one that is not. He's more inclined to say that this should be more of a constitutional right than the right to bear arms. Seriously. Just let that just marinate on your brains for 1 second. One thing that is an actual constitutional right written back in 1791. And one that was a law that was passed in 1973 that ain't being abolished. It's actually just being overturned to go back to the certain states that want to govern it the way that they want to govern. They're giving the right back to the states. That's idiocracy.
The child, a consequence.
Consequence. There you go. See, he lost his train of thought.
So extreme that doctors will be criminalized for fulfilling their duty to care. Imagine having a young woman have to carry the child.
See how he fucked it up? He did good, but then he did it himself, came shining through. He really did. He really did. Yep, it came through at the end, but
Of incest. Their rapist child.
Rapist child. Now watch him just lose it after that.
The child, a consequence.
Consequence. I don't know what the fuck that is.
It just stuns me. So extreme that doctors will be criminalized for fulfilling their duty to care. Imagine having a young woman have to carry the child.
Carry a child.
Of incest.
Of incest.
Consequence of incest.
Consequence of incest.
No option. Too often the case. The poor women are going to be hit the hardest.
It's motherfucker Jimmy Durante up here talking. Imagine a child that was goddamn. And now a word from President Jimmy Durante. Imagine a mother to carry the child for the this motherfucker, man, he never fails. But I tell you, you started off strong. You did. But then you just
It's cruel. In fact, the court laid out state laws criminalizing abortion that go back to the 1800s as rationale. The court literally taking America back 150 years.
It's not true. They're not getting rid of it. They just gave it back to the states. This is insane.
This is a sad day for the country, in my view. But it doesn't mean the fight's over. Let me be very clear and unambiguous. The only way we can secure a woman's right to choose, the balance that existed, is for Congress to restore the protections of Roe v. Wade as federal law.
Shout out to Kingdom Mind to hit your boy with $15.
No executive action from the president can do that. And if Congress, as it appears, lacks the votes to do that now, voters need to make their voices heard. This fall, we must elect more senators and representatives who will codify women's right to choose into federal law.
Did he say codify? I don't know what that word is. That a word? Codify? I don't know if that's a word. Codify. I don't know, but
Once again, elect more state leaders to protect this right at the local level. We need to restore the protections of Roe as law of the land.
Okay, thank
We need to
you.
elect officials who will do that. This fall, Roe
right.
is on the ballot
Let me
Personal
educate
freedoms
myself.
are on the ballot. The right to privacy, liberty, equality, they're all on the ballot. Until then, I will do all of my power to protect a woman's right in states
Arrange.
where they will face the
okay.
consequences of today's
Hold on.
decision.
'Cause I know it's a bunch of other motherfuckers that don't know this word. So the word is codified. CODIFY. And it means arrange laws or rules into a systematic code. Aha. Aha. Got it.
Court's decision cast a dark shadow over a large swath of the land. Many states in this country still recognize a woman's right to choose.
So what's the problem then? Many states still recognize the right for a woman to choose. Where's the problem?
So, if a woman lives in a state that restricts abortion, the Supreme Court's decision does not prevent her from traveling from her home state to the state that allows it.
Bing
Does not
bong.
prevent-
Did you hear that? Let me go back one more time for the people in the cheap seats.
Valid. Until then, and if Congress, as it appears, lacks the votes to do that now, voters need to make their voices heard. This fall, we must elect more senators and representatives who will codify women's right to choose into federal law once again. Elect more state leaders to protect this right at the local level. We need to restore the protections of Roe as law of the land. We need to elect officials who will do that. This fall, Roe is on the ballot. Personal freedoms are on the ballot. The right to privacy, liberty, equality, they're all on the ballot. Until then, I will do all of my power to protect a woman's right in states where they will face the consequences of today's decision. Well, the court's decision cast a dark shadow over a large swath of the land. Many states in this country still recognize a woman's right to choose.
Bing bong.
So they like you can't do this shit no more, and they trying to make it seem like you can't. You can still do it. Keep going.
So, if a woman lives in a state that restricts abortion, the Supreme Court's decision does not prevent her from traveling from her home state to the state that allows it.
Bing bong.
So why not let it be fine for the states that don't want it? Bitch, look, you want to be reckless with your pussy? Fine. Go to Chicago and get your abortions. Bitch, look, you want to be sexually irresponsible. If your pussy is for the streets and you don't believe in contraception and you just want to go get you an abortion, fine. Drive your ass to Gary, Indiana and get it taken care of. Load up your truck and move to Beverly. Go and drive on out to California, New York. It's plenty of states that are still with this. They have legislation in actual motion right now to keep it going, to keep the fires of abortion stoked and burning. Right. You can even take your ass down to Mexico. Go to Canada. Go to Venezuela. Go to the DR. If you look, bitch, while you going to get your BBL done in the DR, go on ahead and get your abortion done too. Get it all done at the same time. And if you die like Donda did, so be it. Girl, what you about to do? Girl, I gotta go down here to the DR over the weekend. What you gonna get done, girl? Girl, I gotta have an abortion. I'm gonna get my butt done. I'm gonna get my stomach done, and I'm gonna get my titties done, girl. Ooh, they got a special where you buy 3 services, you get 1 free. So I'm gonna, just have the abortion as my 4th one. That's a free service. They doing my stomach anyway, girl, so they might as well just, suck that fetus out too. Shit, fuck it. Yeah, you said it's a special. It's on Groupon. I'll send you the Groupon. You can go on up. You can come on too. All you this shit. I'm just saying. Why not? We driving over there. Dumb bitch. Yeah, girl, we gonna drive on down to the DR this weekend. I'm gonna get this 4 for 1. This buy 3 get 1 free. Yeah, for real. Yeah, girl. You know, I think I might be pregnant too, girl. So shit, I might as well go and just have them just check in there. Shit. Run the vacuum through the motherfucker. Shit, it's my right, bitch. Okay. I was gonna take a plan B, but I was like, fuck it, it's $50. Yeah, girl, shit, I took that $50 to get my motherfucking nails done. I ain't about to go get no motherfucking plan B shit, the fuck. Fuck, I'm gonna get a plan B for? I gotta get my nails done, bitch. I need these motherfucking, I got these coffin corners done on this motherfucker. What the fuck they call that shit? My wife get it done. I thought they called them coffin corners. Bitch, like, I can either say, I let this nigga Trevante skeet up in me raw. I can either take this $50 he gave me and go get a plan B, or I can go get these coffin corners on my nail. Bitch, you see what I did? These bitches are insane. Cause y'all know a bitch will do that. Y'all know it. Y'all know she will do it. Nigga be like, nigga Treviante be like, look girl, we was drunk, we was gone off that Heno, but what I'ma do is leave this $50. I got this Chris $50 bill right out the bucket of the grand prize game. I'm gonna leave this $50 here for you to go to CVS or Walgreens and get this plan B. I bought the Henny, and all I'm asking you to do is to go get the plan B. I'm paying for it. $50, bitch. Go get the plan B. Alright, I'm gonna go and get the plan B. Shit, you ain't gotta keep saying that shit like I'm a stupid bitch or something. Shit, the fuck? That bitch driving. She see motherfucking, she on her way to turn into the lot of the Walgreens, but she see ain't nobody sitting in Maylene's seat at Wong Nails. She like, fuck that, I gotta get these coffin corners. David, you got it, that NFL coffin corners. That's a punting tactic. One of y'all women, y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about. Help me out, please. Bitch, see 2 for 1 at Sally's Beauty Spot for 32-inch yaki. 2 for 1? Shit, bitch, you get 2 bundles for $25 already. If I buy 2 and get 1 free, this $50 about to get me 3 bundles, bitch. You got to get me 6. This shit gonna get me 6 bundles, bitch. Oh, they call coffin nails. There we go. I can either go get this plan B, or I can get these coffin nails, or I can go get these 6 bundles for $50 at Sally's. Bitch, you know I'm gonna be looking good on Friday. That's just what it is, man. I'm sorry.
Does not prevent a doctor in that state from treating her. As the Attorney General has made clear, women must remain free to travel safely to another state to seek care they need.
And you can. And here's the other thing, Jay Rich said spent that on red bottles. Nope. This how the bitch get the red bottles. Let me tell you this. So the nigga Treviante gives this bitch $50 for the plan B. She say fuck that, and she go get coffin nails. Then 4 months later, she's still pregnant and showing. Treviante see the bitch at the club and be like, bitch, I thought you was getting that taken care of. The bitch was like, nigga, don't you see my motherfucking nails? So then, he like, well, bitch, what we gonna do? I ain't trying to have no baby. She like, shit, nigga, ain't what the fuck we gonna do. It's what the fuck you gonna do. Because I ain't trying to have no baby either. But if we do, then let the chips fall where they may. So then Treviante say, well, look, bitch, why don't you drive down to the DR and and I'll pay for the motherfucker. You want me to drive down to the DR? Yeah, bitch. Drive down to the DR and get the shit taken care of. Shit, the fuck? Well, my girl, Tracy, she driving down to the DR next weekend, so you got to pay for gas and food for us to drive down there, so that's going to be $1,200. So this nigga Treviante, he's selling dope, so he like, well, fuck it. I'd rather pay this bitch $1,200 than have this bitch have my baby. He get a bitch $1,200. The bitch go to the DR, party like a motherfucker, but then she take $800 to go buy the motherfucking red bottles, and she still have $400 to party with, bitch. There it is. She took that money and she partied like a fucking rock star in the DR, bitch. That's what I did, boo-boo. And the baby is still on the way.
My administration will defend that bedrock right. If any state or local official, high or low, tries to interfere with a woman's exercising her basic right to travel, I will do everything in my power to fight that deeply un-American attack. My administration will also protect a woman's access to medications that are approved by the Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, like contraception, which is essential for preventative health care.
Ain't nobody talking about taking that away, man. I don't understand this. It's only the states that have, the states will just have the right to write it however they want. So there could either, it's not like they're either going to be pro-abortion, pro-choice, or pro-life. It's not going to be like that. There could be states that have the heartbeat rule. There could be states that have the 4-month rule, the 3-month first trimester rule. It's a lot of different ways to approach this. They could just be like, hey, look, we ain't on that shit in New York where you could have an abortion in 9 months, bitch. We ain't doing that. Which is understandable, because the majority of our constituents that live here in this state, we all believe that at the point of 6 months or second trimester, it's a baby. First trimester, it's a baby. At a heartbeat, it's a baby. So if you gonna have an abortion and be reckless with your pussy, bitch, then you need to do it and get it done before there's a heartbeat, before first trimester, before second trimester. Bitch, you ain't about to be due in a week laying up talking about you done changed your motherfucking mind, take this motherfucker up out you cause you found out that your baby daddy was fucking your cousin. So now you gonna hurt him by killing the baby. Cause you mad. You big mad. And that's what a bitch will do. Fuck all that bullshit to the back. That's what a bitch will do. I'm quite sure that's what a bitch has done. A nigga didn't do something she wanted him to do, so she went and killed the nigga's baby. And I bet you if a motherfucker watch this, it'll be at least one motherfucker that'll put in the comment sections after this shit is over or before the show is over to say, man, that shit happened to me. Because I wouldn't be with the bitch, but was still wanting to take care of the baby and was willing to be a father. The bitch killed the baby because I wouldn't be with her and take care of her. I'm just telling you how trifling a bitch is. That's all I'm doing. I'm not making no shit up. I ain't pulling shit out my ass just saying, oh yeah, that's it. It's plenty of niggas that done had that shit happen itself. Bitch, I ain't with you. I'm through with you. Fuck you. You ain't no motherfucking bitch I want to be with. I understand that you pregnant. I'll take care of my son or my daughter. I'll take care of the baby. No problem. My baby ain't gonna want for shit. And the bitch be like, oh, well, if you ain't gonna take care of me, then fuck it. I just kill a little motherfucker. Just saying. Or be a motherfucker to be like, look, bitch, we only fuck once. I don't want to be with you. You got another nigga already. You was with another nigga the week before. Hell, I think you was with a nigga last night. Why we gonna have this baby and we ain't together? I got another bitch that live in motherfucking Florida and we together. She moving here to St. Louis and we gonna be together. Why are we having this baby? We don't even know each other. Bitch, we don't even want to really be with each other. You was just a jump off. I was just drunk. Whatever the case may be, you know what that bitch will say? Oh, so you think you just gonna fuck me and leave me? I'ma have this motherfucker and I'ma get your ass for every fucking dime you got, boo-boo. I know that you work for Ford, so I'm gonna run them pockets every motherfucking month. I'm getting this money, nigga. That bitch ain't pro-life. That bitch ain't pro motherfucking choice. That bitch is pro-self. That bitch ain't out here, oh, I can't have an abortion because of my, because of my religious beliefs. Nope, that bitch just want to get a bag. I'm just saying. What's the bitch that had the dumbass basketball player got pregnant and had her baby, and she got a baby with the nigga, getting him for his bread. He just want to spend his money on a bitch. I get it. Brittany Renner, thank you. You think Brittany Renner is motherfucking pro motherfucking life? Nope. That bitch is pro motherfucking self. She said it time and time again. Nigga, that nigga, hey, he dumb enough to do it. Nigga, I'm going to be smart enough to take it. Because I promise you, if that bitch wasn't getting no resources and that bitch had to do it on her own, the bitch wouldn't. She would have either never put herself in that situation. She would have had or wouldn't have fucked with that nigga in the beginning at all. She fucked with him because that nigga had a bag and she knew that his lame ass was motherfucking thirsty than a motherfucker for her. She took advantage. Hey, it is what it is. That's the game. But don't try to turn around and make it seem like this bitch is pro-life, is pro-choice, or she pro-life, or she pro... Nope, she pro-self.
Mifepristone, which the FDA approved 20 years ago to safely end early pregnancies and is commonly used to treat miscarriages. Some states are saying that they'll try to ban or severely restrict access to these medications. But extremist governors and state legislators are looking to block the mail or search a person's medicine cabinet or control a woman's actions by tracking data on her apps she uses are wrong and extreme and out of touch with the majority of Americans. The American Medical Association, the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists wrote to me and Vice President Harris stressing that these laws are not based on evidence and asking us to act to protect access to care. They say by limiting access to these medicines, maternal mortality will climb in America. That's what they say. Today, I'm directing the Department of Health and Human Services to take steps to ensure these critical medications are available to the fullest extent possible. And the politicians cannot interfere in the decisions that should be made between a woman and her doctor.
Again, no husband, not the father, nothing. Just a woman.
And my administration will remain vigilant as the implications of this decision play out. I've warned about how this decision risks the broader right to privacy for everyone. That's because Roe recognized the fundamental right to privacy that has served as a basis for so many more rights that we've come to take for granted. that are ingrained in the fabric of this country. The right to make the best decisions for your health. The right to use birth control, a married couple in the privacy of their bedroom, for God's sake.
Nobody said anything about that changing or going away. I don't understand why there's so, it's like, it's very difficult to have a conversation with somebody or to actually get an understanding from somebody that focuses on things that are not happening, that are not true, or not the main idea of the argument. It's very difficult to find common ground with people who have conversations in that manner. To be focused on and talking about the smallest percentage and just disregarding the larger percentage, like somebody said in the chat when the show first started, the majority of these women, and I'm saying upwards of 90%, they are having abortions because of convenience. All the other shit you want to try to throw in there, the medical, the incest, the rape, throw all that in there if you want to, but it's literally a matter of it's convenient for me to just do it this way, because then I ain't got to worry about taking no pill. I ain't got to worry about gaining no weight of taking a pill. I ain't got to take no shot. I ain't got to do. That's why they will do that. Because when they get tired of doing it, they'll go ahead and say, you know what? I want to get a bag from this nigga, so I'm going to have it. Nigga got enough money, nigga can't find no motherfucker get it. Can't find a bitch that'll have an abortion. I'm just telling you. It's like, Jesus Christ. If Lori Harvey can be the whore that she is and not come up pregnant, I don't want to hear shit about a broke bitch who can't do the same thing. I don't want to hear it. Because it would benefit that bitch to have a baby by every nigga she done fucked. If that bitch had a baby by every nigga she fucked, she'd probably be one of the richest black women in America. I'm just saying, she would be. However, she has been able to just say, well, no, I'm not having no babies. And that's it. Because she got more shit going for her as far as her life and what she has as far as access to. Yes. So a broke motherfucker that can get free birth control or abstain or whatever the fuck else you want to call it, they should be even more prudent about it than she is. They should be more vigilant about not getting pregnant more so than she is. If anybody could be reckless with their pussy and just have a baby by any nigga she fucking, it would be Lori Harvey. No, Kim Kardashian already had money, unfortunately, Alex. I gotta give her props. That bitch was already rich. It wouldn't have mattered. She didn't need yay baby, yay money. She didn't need. She was richer than motherfucking. She was richer than what's the nigga name? Brandy brother. I don't even know that nigga name. That's fucked up. She was richer than Ray J. So it really wouldn't have mattered. I'm just saying.
The right to marry the person you love. Justice Thomas said as much today. He explicitly called to reconsider the right of marriage equality, the right of couples to make their choices on contraception.
He said reconsider. Basically say we should look at it. We should reconsider it and, see if this is something we need to be involved in. This shit needs to be us or should it be the state? And why wouldn't it be the state? That's just my thing. You have more control as a constituent, as a member in your own area, in your own community. You have more control over who your governor is, who your state reps are, and who your senators are, and all the people you put in the Congress. You have more control over that than you do over who's the president. You have more control over that as opposed to over who's in your Supreme Court of the United States, U.S. Supreme Court. You got more control over that than they do. So why wouldn't you be in favor of being in more control over what you can directly impact your local government as opposed to what the fuck SCOTUS is doing? We don't vote for SCOTUS. These motherfuckers do. So it's like, yes, I would want to be more in more control, and that's exactly what them overturning this does. They're literally giving power to the people because they're putting us in a situation where we can control what goes on with our legislation because we're in more direct control over who our governors are, who our senators are, who our mayors are, who our congressmen are. We are in more control over that. So why not put it back in our hands?
This is extreme and dangerous path the court is now taking us on. Let me close with 2 points. First, I call on everyone, no matter how deeply they care about this decision, to keep all protests peaceful. Peaceful, peaceful, peaceful. No intimidation. Violence is never acceptable. Threats and intimidation are not speech. We must stand against violence in any form, regardless of your rationale. Second, I know so many of us are frustrated and disillusioned that the court has taken something away that's so fundamental. I know so many women are now going to face incredibly difficult situations. I hear you. I support you. I stand with you. The consequences and the consensus of the American people, core principles of equality, liberty, dignity, and the stability of the rule of law demand that Roe should not have been overturned. With this decision, the conservative majority of the Supreme Court shows how extreme it is, how far removed they are from the majority of this country.
Not true. Because if it's about the majority of the country, then we wouldn't be concerned about gay rights and gay marriage. They're not the majority. It should just be about what the states want because the people that live in the states would obviously want those things. I'm just saying. You get more of a B as far as what your state wants or what a state wants than you will by saying, oh, this is what everybody wants. Just like how they make that lie up about gun control. You know, the greater majority of gun owners, they want to have more gun control. It's a fucking lie that Beto has been telling for the past 4 years. He been making that shit up. He just made it up and just keeps saying it. And nobody says, do you have no data that proves that? Stop lying. I went to a gun show and people said it. Bullshit. That is not the majority of gun owners. But he'll just say it and make it up. Just like how they make it up saying that, yeah, this is a constitutional right that's being taken away. It's not a constitutional right. Why not have the conversation and why not let the conversation be based in fact as opposed to just saying how you feel and what you think you can just make up and run past people? It's ridiculous.
It made the United States an outlier among developed nations in the world. But this decision must not be the final word. My administration will use all of its appropriate lawful powers. But Congress must act. And with your vote, you can act. You can have the final word. This is not over. Thank you very much.
How about we get to have the final word on if we are going to be self-sufficient when it comes to gas, when it comes to oil? Where's that vote at for us? Oh, we didn't have that. He just told us that's what we're going to do. How about when we should have the vote on if we're going to send $40 billion over to Ukraine or not? How about us voting for that? Oh, they didn't. They just decided that's what they wanted to do, so that's what we're going to do. Isn't that funny? How we can't decide on if our gas gonna be higher than the motherfucker? Isn't it funny how we can't decide if inflation's gonna be through the fucking roof? Isn't it funny how we can't, cause we don't have a vote in any of that, and our groceries being high? My fucking grocery bill is double. Where was the vote for that shit, motherfuckers? I don't get a final say in none of that. How much more money I gotta pay? I don't get a final say as to how much more shit is going up and costing. I don't have a final say in that. I don't have a fucking final say in how fucking high the fucking mortgage rates go up. Oh no, I just gotta pay that. You ain't walking with me hand in hand with that. You and your fucking administration ain't making sure that that shit don't get out of control. It's quite funny and quite fucking insulting that, oh, I should be concerned about Roe versus Wade and vote for that, but I shouldn't get a vote for if the pipeline gets shut down to Canada. I shouldn't get a vote if we send $40 billion over to the Ukraine. I shouldn't get a vote if we send $20 million over to Pakistan for transgender research. I shouldn't get a fucking vote in how much fucking money we put in them goddamn high-ass spending bills where half of the motherfucking money went to their pockets instead of to the people. I shouldn't get a say in none of that. I shouldn't get a say in the fucking fact that the fucking stimulus checks that I got, I had to pay back in my income tax this year. So I still wind up owing. I didn't get to vote for that, did I? Nope. So I didn't get to vote for that, but I should definitely be the one to go to the polls and vote for Roe versus Wade being given back to the states. Not going away, but given to the states. And y'all call this government good politics? Y'all call this is how the shit's supposed to go? You got more concern, and he wants the power of the people to come and vote about Roe versus Wade being turned over to the states, but he didn't come to the people to see if we send 40 billion or 20 billion over to the Ukraine. He didn't come to the people and say, I need to hear from y'all to see if we gonna do this or not over here and go and support the UK or the Ukraine or not. Oh, he didn't come ask us if we should shut down the pipeline, did he? He just said, no, that's what the fuck we gonna do by Executive Order 66. We gonna shut down all of the fucking drilling and make gas be higher than a motherfucker just because that's Executive Order 67. You didn't ask if we wanted to vote for that shit, now did you? Nope. We gonna tell all of the fucking illegal aliens to just come over to America and we gonna stop the wall from being built. We ain't gonna ask y'all vote for that. We just gonna write an executive order for that. Where's the fucking people vote for that shit? But these are the questions that people don't want to ask, and these are the discussions that people don't want to have. So we need to make sure we go to the polls about Roe versus Wade. But we just need to let this gas go up to $10. We need to go to the polls about Roe versus Wade, but this inflation should just go as high as it goes. Shit, what difference does it make? We should just go ahead and go to the polls to vote about Roe versus Wade. But as far as this housing market crisis, this housing market recession that's going on, this crash that's happening as we speak, fuck that. That don't matter. This recession that we done slid into that ain't nobody saying shit about, nah, that don't matter. But we got to worry about this Roe versus Wade, though, because that going back to the states, they taking it away from us all. We don't vote for that shit, though. Nope. No reason. It's insane. An executive order, in my opinion, Calvin, should be used when the people vote for one. That's all I'm saying. But I hope that this video helps somebody become a better version of themselves. I really do. And I would hope that if all of these people that are so pro women's rights would just shift a little bit and be pro equality, because then that would include the men. If you were really righteous in what it is your endeavors are, then I would say yes. I would probably be more inclined to even side with you. And I would say this, for those pro-choice out there, if you want me to be pro-choice, let me be able to have a financial abortion. Then we can talk. If you can have a human abortion, let me have a financial one. Let me be able to walk away from my financial responsibilities just like you can walk away from a life. Let me be able to walk away from my financial responsibilities just like you can walk away from an abortion clinic with your insides freshly scraped. Until then, I don't want to hear shit. I don't want to hear shit, because it's not about equality. It's about power. It's about control. You wanting to be able to control, and you want to be able to control not just what you do with your body, but you want to be able to control what you do with others. That's it. That's all. Let the states do what the states want to do. And therefore, if you don't like it and you don't agree with it, you can go to a state that you do like and that you do agree with. It's simple. It's very simple. You know where you living at, and you know exactly what type of government you have and what the perception and what the ideas and moral values are of that state. You know what they are. You know what they own. Go to where those that are like you are. It's very simple. It's very simple. Go to where everybody knows your name. Find your own cheers. You want to go where people know your troubles are all the same. Y'all all doing the same fuck shit. You want to go where everybody knows your name. Whether that's Chicago, New York, or California, wherever that is. It could be Washington, D.C., it could be Maine, it could be Oregon, it could be Seattle, wherever they know your name and all your troubles are the same. That's where you should go. It makes sense. Split this country up and let the us's and them's be just that. The us's and them's. No violence, no animosity. Go where they do the shit you like to do, and I'll go where they do the shit that I like to do. I don't have a problem with that at all. I like to smoke cigars. I go to the cigar bar. I don't go into the church and flame up a cigar talking about y'all should let me choose. I'm pro stogie. Nope. I smoke it at my home, or I will smoke it where I am allowed. I hope this video helps somebody become a better version of themselves. I want to thank everybody that donated to the show tonight. Those of you that are watching on the replay, please feel free to donate. I promise to have the chat fixed by the next time I sign on. I tried to fix it, but I didn't want to take away from the show, fucking around with it for too long. But I'll definitely try to get this resolved and get it taken care of for next time. So thank you guys so much. I love y'all. Y'all have a good night. Please feel free to leave your comments in the comment section. Please click that like button, and you can still donate when you're watching this on the replay. And thank you to everybody that did donate. Shout out to my man David Williams. Shout out to my man Chris Sykes. Shout out to my man David. Shout out to Jay Turk. Thank you guys so much. Let me see if anybody, I know a couple of people donated on the PayPal. Thank you to Kingdom Minded. I know that she did. Thank you to Glenda Smiles for donating the other day. I appreciate that. Thank you guys so much. And shout out to Kevin. He hit your boy up with a donation as well. Thank you guys. Till next time, peace, and I'm out.
What's going on, everybody out there in the internet world? It's me, Brian Redmond, also known as the Relationship Rehab. And I need you to do two things. What are those two things? Subscribing to both my channels. I need you to go to the Relationship Rehab, subscribe to that channel, and then I need you to go to United Guns of America and go to that channel. Now you may be asking, why would I do that, Brian? Because it's two of the hottest channels on the internet. Come over there, give me your thoughts, give me your opinions, have conversations, because that's what it's all about. We talk about some of everything: politics, relationships, guns, law enforcement, community stuff, anything that's happening. I'm willing to have a conversation about it, so come on over. You don't got nothing else to lose, and you ain't got nothing else to do. So come to my channel, subscribe ASAP, and join in on the fun. Twice the entertainment, 2 channels, twice the fun. Come on and have a funky good time with your boy. Peace, and I'm out.